Good morning children, Sai Ram. Today's lesson is the concluding part of chapter 2 whole numbers. This is part 6 of the chapter. So what are we going to learn today? Yes, we are going to learn a few more number patterns which will help us in multiplying numbers by shortcut methods. Then we will complete exercise 2.3. We will also discuss about the mathematics project which you are going to complete during your summer break. So let's start by number patterns. Children, in the previous session you learned how to add or subtract numbers by 9, 99, 999 such numbers by using shortcut methods, by using patterns. Alright, and also I gave you few multiplication sums to use the patterns and solve them. Did you do that? Okay, let's discuss how we do them, and if you have done them, check whether your answers are right or not. Now, let's see the first one. It is 156 multiplied by 9. So, in place of 9, we take 10 minus 1, all right, and multiply 156 with that by using distributive property. Now the next one is 156 multiplied by 99. All right, same method. 99 will be taken as 100 minus 1, and multiplying 156 by 999. Again 999 we will take it as 1000 minus 1000 minus 1. All right. Such shortcut methods help us to solve the sums easily, and even we can do them verbally. So let's see how we solve them. Now the first one, 156 multiplied by 9. So we have taken 9 as 10 minus 1, isn't it? We have taken 9 as 10 minus 1. Now using distributive property, we will write it as 156 multiplied by 10 minus 156 multiplied by 1. So what is the result? We get 1560 minus 156, and the result we get is 1404, isn't it? Similarly, when we multiply the number 156 by 99, so in place of 99 we consider the number 100 minus 1, 99 as 100 minus 1. Now using distributive property, we will multiply 156 by 100 and 156 by 1, and then do the subtraction. All right. So what is the answer that we get? We get 15,444 as the answer. Now the next one, 156 multiplied by 999. Again in place of 999 we take it as 1000 minus 1. Using distributive property, it becomes 156 multiplied by 1000 minus 156 multiplied by 1. So what do we get? We get 1,56,000 minus 156. And what is the answer that we get? It is 1,55,844. All right. This is the way we can multiply the numbers as big as 9,999, 99,999 to any number. All right. Now let's move on to the next one. Pattern of multiplying a number by 5 or 25 or 125. That means the numbers that end with 5 or which have 5 in ones place. So how do we solve them? Now let's see that. Children, if we want to multiply 96 by 5, so what we do, instead of 5 we can take the number as 10 upon we can take the number as 10 upon 2, isn't it? And dividing 96 by 2 is very simple. We get 48. So, what is the answer that we get? It is 480. Now, see the second one, 96 multiplied by 25. So, in place of 25, we take it as 100 upon 4. And dividing 96 by 4 is very easy. What do we get as the answer? We get 2400 as the answer. Similarly, when we multiply 96 or any other number by 125, then instead of 125, we can take the number as 1000 upon 8. Alright, and dividing 96 by 8 is very simple. And what is the answer that we get? We get 12,000 as the answer. Let's see a few more examples and patterns. Just observe this pattern and see how we can solve the problems of multiplication by following this pattern. Now, first one, you can see it is 64 multiplied by 5. That means it is 64 multiplied by 10 upon 2. We can take 5 as 10 upon 2, isn't it? And dividing 64 by 2, what do we get? We get 32. Now, multiplying 32 by 10, very simple. We get it as 320 multiplied by 1, we can write, isn't it? This is to show a certain pattern. Now, coming to the next one, 64 multiplied by 15. Now, you can see what is the difference between 5 and 15? It is taken as 10, alright. And 64 multiplied by 15, in place of 15, we can take it as 30 upon 2, isn't it? And 64 when divided by 2 becomes 32. It becomes 32 multiplied by 30, which can also be written as 320 multiplied by 3, isn't it? Now, see the next one. It is 64 multiplied by 25. Again, what is the difference between 15 and 25? It is 10. Alright. And when we multiply 64 by 25, 25 can be taken as 50 upon 2. And 64 divided by 2 becomes 32, then it becomes 32 multiplied by 50, which can also be written as 320 multiplied by 5. Alright, now see the last one. It is 64 multiplied by 35. Again, we can see that the difference between 25 and 35 is 10, isn't it? And when we multiply 64 by 35, 35 can be taken as 70 upon 2, isn't it? And 64 when we divide by 2, we get 32, isn't it? 32 multiplied by 70, it can be written as 320 multiplied by 7. Now, in the answers also, you can see a certain pattern, isn't it? They are consecutive odd numbers. The next one, they are all consecutive odd numbers. So, think about two more steps which you can write by following the same pattern, isn't it? Now, let's start solving the problems of exercise 2.3. So, which of the following will not represent 0? The first question. Okay. First one, A is given 1 plus 0. So, when we add 0 to 1, what it becomes? It becomes 1 only, because 0 is the additive identity of 1, isn't it? Whenever we add 0 to any whole number, the answer is the whole number itself. Okay. So, it does not represent 0. We have to find out where we can find 0. Now, 0 multiplied by 0, it becomes 0. Yes, it represents 0. 0 divided by 2, again 0 divided by any number, it becomes 0. Yes, it also represents 0. Now, see D, 10 minus 10 upon 2. 10 minus 10 becomes 0, isn't it? And 0 divided by any number is 0. So, this one also represents 0. Alright. Now, look at the question number 2. If the product of two whole numbers is 0, can we say that one or both of them will be 0? Justify through examples. Okay. So, if the product of two numbers is 0, definitely one number will be 0, isn't it? Any number multiplied by 0 becomes 0, isn't it? So, what is the example? 0 multiplied by 3 becomes 0. Similarly, 15 if we multiply by 0, it also becomes 0. Any number we multiply, any whole number we multiply by 0, it becomes 0. Also, if the product of two numbers is 0, the two numbers can also be 0, isn't it? If we multiply 0 by 0, then also we get 0. So, in both the cases, if one of the numbers is 0 or both the numbers are 0, we get the product as 0. Okay. Now, let us see the next problem. If the product of two whole numbers is 1, can we say that one or both of them will be 1? Justify through examples. Now, if the product of two whole numbers is 1, then definitely both the numbers should be 1 only. They should be equal to 1 only, isn't it? Like 1 multiplied by 1 becomes 1. If we take any other whole number which we multiply with 1 by 1, then it will be the number itself, the whole number itself. Like 1 multiplied by 5 becomes 5. If we take 9, 1 multiplied by 9 becomes 9. Is because 1 is the multiplicative identity of whole numbers, isn't it? Whenever we multiply any whole number by 1, we get the whole number itself. So, for the product to be 1, both the numbers should be 1 only. In that situation only, the product will be 1. If one of the numbers is 1 and another number is some other whole number, then the product will not be equal to 1. Okay. Now, let us look at the next one. This is question number 4, find using distributive property. So, what is the first problem? 728 multiplied by 101. We have to use the distributive property and try to solve it very easily. Okay. So, instead of 101, we can write it as 100 plus 1, isn't it? Now, using distributive property and multiplying 728 by 100 and 728 by 1 and adding them, we get 73,528 as the answer. Alright. We have solved many of such problems while doing the previous exercises also. Now, next one, B is 5,437 multiplied by 1,001. So, 1,001 can be taken as 1,001 can be taken as 1,000 plus 1, isn't it? Now, using distributive property, we will multiply 5,437 by 1,000 and also by 1 and then add them. Okay. So, 5,437 multiplied by 1,000 plus 5,437 multiplied by 1. So, what do we get? Here what do we get? We get 54,37,000 plus 5,437. Adding them both, we get the answer as 54,42,437. Now, let us move on to the next question, next problem. It is 824 multiplied by 25 is equal to 800, it can be written as 824 multiplied by 20 plus 5, 5 can be written as 20 plus 5, isn't it? Now, using distributive property, we can multiply 824 by 20 as well as by 5 and then we add them. So, what do we get? When we multiply 824 by 20, we get 16,480, and multiplying 824 by 5, we get 4,120. We add them, and what is the answer that we get? It is 20,600. Alright. Now, let us move on to the next one. Here we have 4,275 multiplied by 125. Now, 125 can be expanded as 100 plus 20 plus 5, isn't it? Now, we will multiply 4,275 by each of the numbers inside the bracket. Okay. So, it becomes 4,275 multiplied by 100 plus 4,275 multiplied by 20 plus 4,275 multiplied by 5. So, what do we get? We get 4,27,500 plus 85,500 plus 21,375. So, what is the answer that we get? We get the answer 5,34,375. So, by using the distributive property, we have solved the problems very easily, isn't it? Now, let us look at the next one. It is 504 multiplied by 35. So, here we can expand any of the numbers 504 or 35. So, we have expanded 504 here, which can be written as 500 plus 4, isn't it? Now, we will multiply each of the numbers 500 and 4 by 35 and find the sum. Okay. So, it is 500 multiplied by 35 plus 4 multiplied by 35. So, what do we get? While multiplying 500 by 35, what we can do? We can multiply 35 by 5 and add 2 zeros to it, isn't it? So, when we multiply 35 by 5, we get 175 and add 2 zeros to it, isn't it? So, it becomes 17,500. Now, multiply 35 by 4, it becomes 140. When we add both of these numbers, what do we get? We get 17,640 as the answer. All right. Now, let us move on to the next question. This is question number 5. Study the pattern. So, here we have a pattern. We have to observe the pattern and then you have to write the next 2 steps. Okay. And also you have to check how the pattern works. We have to understand how the pattern works. Okay. The answer that we are getting, are we simply writing it, or is it right? Is it the correct answer? So, let us study the pattern first. So, let us look at the pattern. It is 1 into 8 plus 1 is equal to 9. The next step is 12 into 8 plus 2 is equal to 98. Third step is 1, 2, 3, that means 123 multiplied by 8 plus 3 is equal to 987. Fourth step, 1234, 1, 2, 3, 4 multiplied by 8 plus 4 is equal to 9876 or 9876. The next one, the last one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that means 12,345 into 8 plus 5 is equal to 98765 or 98,765. So, do you observe any pattern here? Let us look at this. Let us look at the first one. All right. Here the numbers, the first number, how it increases? It is 1, then it becomes 1, 2 or 12, then it becomes 1, 2, 3 or 123, then it becomes 1234 or 1234. And next step it becomes 12345 or 12,345. So we can see that the number is increasing by consecutive numbers, isn't it? First it was 1, then it became 1 2, then it became 1 2 3, then it became 1 2 3 4, then it became 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, and the number to be multiplied with is always 8, isn't it? Always 8. But the number to be added is also increasing along with the number that is being multiplied by 8. It is becoming 1 2 3 4 5, isn't it? And also you can see a beautiful pattern in the answers also. First it is 9, then it becomes 9 8, then it becomes 9 8 7, then it becomes 9 8 7 6, and then it becomes 9 8 7 6 5. So what can you observe? The number is in the decreasing order of numbers, isn't it? 9, 98, 987, 9876, 98,765. Okay, the number is increasing, but the digits are in a decreasing order, isn't it? So can we write the next two steps? Definitely we can write. Let's see how we do that. Children, first we can take first one 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, that is 12,345. So what we do, we increase the number by this digit, it is 6. We can write it as 1,23,456 multiplied by 8, and here also the number to be added will be 6, isn't it? And what is the answer that we are getting? It will be 987654. That means 9,87,654 according to the pattern, isn't it? And the next step will be 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. That means 12,34,567. We have increased the number by one digit, which digit the digit is the next consecutive number, isn't it? And then multiply it with 8, and the number to be added again is 7, isn't it? And what is the answer that we will get? It is 987654. 43 it should be, all right. It should be 9876543, all right. So add 3 here. Okay. So this is the answer that we get. All right. So how do we explain it? How we are getting this answer? Is it right? We have to check it. Now how do we do that? Now look at this, children. 12,34,056 when written in expanded form, when we take from the ones place, that means from 6, we can write it as 11111, isn't it? That means 1,11,111. 5 can be written as 11111. 5 ones become 5, isn't it? So it is 11,000. It is 11,101. Then it becomes 1111. 4 means 1111. That means 1,111. And then next one is 111. Then next is 11 plus 1. When we add these numbers, we get this one. Okay, 1,23,456. This is the expanded form. When we multiply this with 8, we have to multiply this expanded form by 8. All right. So what do we get? We get 8,88,888 plus 88,888 plus 8,888 plus 888 plus 88 plus 8, isn't it? We are considering the first example. Please remember that. Alright. So, when we add these numbers, what do we get? We get 9,87,648, but still we have to add 6 to it. When we add 6 to it, we get the answer as 9,87,654, that we also got from the by following the pattern, isn't it? So, it is 987654. So, we can see that the pattern we have followed is right. So, the pattern works. Now, let us see the next step that we have written, whether it is right or not. Now, it is the next step is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, isn't it? And multiplied by 8 plus 7 is equal to 9876543. Alright. So, what is this number? When we expand this number 12,34,567, what do we get? We get 111, from ones place we have to expand, okay? 1111111, isn't it? 7 times 1 so we have to expand the number from ones place, isn't it? We have 7 in ones place. That means when we add 7 times 1, we become we get 7, isn't it? So, we can write 1 7 times, isn't it? So, it is 11,11,111 plus 1,11,111, then it becomes 11,111. Then it becomes 1,111, 111, then 11 and 1. When we add all these numbers, we get this one, okay, we get this number. Alright. So, we expand the number and multiply it with 8. So, what do we get? We get 8888888, that means we get 8,88,888 plus 8,88,888, then we get 88,888 plus 8,888 plus 888 plus 88 plus 8. When we add all these numbers, what do we get? We get 98,76,536, isn't it? But still we have to add 7 to it. When we add 7 to this number, we get this number, that is 98,76,543, which is what we get according to the pattern, isn't it? Which we get according to the pattern, that is 9876543. So, we can say that this pattern also works. Yes, this pattern works. So, children, with this question we come to the end of exercise 2.3. Let us discuss about the mathematics project that you are going to do during your summer break. Alright. So, the topics taken from exercise from chapter 1, knowing your numbers, and second chapter, whole numbers. Okay. So, your cover page will contain this one. You have to write this as mathematics project. You have to mention the topic also, and on the cover page only you will write your name. You can write your standard and division, subject, and also your roll number, and you can decorate the cover page how you like it. Okay. Then let's see what are the questions. So, first chapter, knowing our numbers or your numbers, you give the heading on the top of the answer sheet. You can use assignment sheets, or you can also use foolscap papers and give the heading as knowing your numbers. So, let us see what is the project. Write the names of most populated 5 cities in India. Write their population in Indian system of numeration and international system of numeration in numbers and words. So, children, in this project what you have to do? You have to Google with the help of your parents and find the names of 5 most populated cities in India, alright, and you have to note down their populations, and then you have to write these numbers in Indian system of numeration and international system of numeration, both in numbers as well as in words. I hope you understood what you have to do in the project. Okay, and how do you write it? This is how you write it, that is, you have to make 3 columns. First column, name of the cities, name of the city, city 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. First city, whatever is your city, for example, you can write Delhi. Okay. Then population in Indian system of numeration. This table is about Indian system of numeration, isn't it? Then population in numbers you have to write according to Indian system of numeration, and then you have to write in words also according to your Indian system of numeration. Then in the next one, again name of the city, okay, city 1 Delhi for example, and it is international system of numeration. First you have to write it in numbers, the population in numbers, okay, according to international system of numeration, and then you write in words according to international system of numeration. All right. Now see, let's see what is the next one. It is from the chapter whole numbers. Okay. So you will give the heading as whole numbers. Okay. And what is the project? It is look at this, the table provided here lists properties of whole numbers. Write any 3 examples against the appropriate property in the second column. Children, we have discussed about the properties of whole numbers, isn't it? So you have been given columns, and against the column, against the correct property, you have to write 3 examples. We have discussed many examples when we were discussing the properties of whole numbers, isn't it? For example, you see look at the first one. It is commutativity under addition, isn't it? So you can write 3 examples of the same of commutative property under addition. You have to write 3 examples about that. Next comes commutativity under multiplication. Same, you have to write 3 examples for that. C is associativity of addition. This also we have discussed lots of examples. You can pick up 3 examples and write. And then associativity of multiplication. Regarding this also you need 3 examples. You have to write 3 examples, which we had discussed during the when we were learning the properties of the whole numbers. The next is distributivity of multiplication over addition. You have to write 3 examples of this. The next one, additive identity, 3 examples of additive identity, and next one is multiplicative identity. You have to write 3 examples of multiplicative identity, and this ends your project. Okay. And how many assignment sheets or foolscap papers you will use? They will be 4 or 5. All right. And how you put them along together? You will tie them with a satin ribbon, or you can staple them. All right. And decorate it, because you have a lot of time. You can decorate it how you like it, okay, with color crayons or whatever you want to decorate them with. All right. So with this we come to this end of this session. Children, enjoy your summer vacation, but also you study, read lots of storybooks, help your parents in their household chores, and enjoy your vacation. All right. Till then, goodbye.